Hello and welcome back to my Unity 5 tutorial series. In this session we're gonna do some finishing touches on our area tool for now. I already got a few ideas how to extend it later or how to work with it later, but I just want to jump onto some other things in between. So our goal for today is actually to add a menu item to be able in the inspector to create an area. So if you remember right now, as we press play, our mesh is built and displayed. I want that to happen as I hit a button, and then I want it to stay here, not vanish again. And we are also gonna have a look into how to create a prefab from our procedural mesh. So that should be interesting. I hope you're excited, and let's get started. So first thing I do is create an editor script. So I create a folder editor, and inside I create a C# script called area editor. I open that up in MonoDevelop. So the first thing we want to do is to set up our script to offer us a button to press create area, and then it will create an area for us. So we need to derive this from the editor class. We can remove those functions. If you're using the namespace, don't forget to add, because otherwise you will have trouble getting references to the other scripts. Okay, this is gonna be a custom editor for our area script. That looks alright. And we need a variable to hold it, our reference. Void onEnable. So right now we're not doing anything we haven't done before. Actually, I want to, yeah, let's just do this first, and we're going to have a look at it. So public override void on inspector GUI base on inspector GUI, and here we add our button. So if GUI layout dot button create area, create area. So this function already exists. We've written that one before. Let's just quickly look at it. So here is our create area script. It's a public function, so we can access it, and yeah, it does everything we want. So up until now we just added it to our start function. I'm now gonna remove this completely because we don't need it anymore. Save the script. As we head back to Unity, click on our game object, we have now this fancy button, create area, and as I hit the button, there is our mesh, our polygon, and it's all working. We can move it around. And if we want to update it, so that's something I want to change later, not in this session, but you see, if I now want to update it first thing I need to do is move around one of the waypoints and then hit create area again. But it works. It's not the most intuitive way. It works for now. One thing I really don't like though is the order of scripts or of components. I need to scroll down or at least look down to find my create area button. So let's add a line of code in here. Unity editor internal. There's the so-called component utility, and I guess you can figure out what it does. There are just those functions: move up, move out, move down, and all we need to pass is the component we want to move around. So we already got a reference to our script. I want our script to be on top, so move component up will do exactly that. I save the script, head back to Unity, and you see it shifted around, and now our area script is right on top. Yeah, that's just how I want it. And there's the bell again. Sorry about that. That's actually funny because it really only happens as I'm recording. So where were we? Yeah, we moved up our component. That is better because this is our main component, and as this is meant to be a tool, it should be accessible. It should be working for us, not against us. So let me just quickly sort out my scattered brain. Okay, the next thing I want to do is create a menu item, which will say area right here. But first we need to actually prepare ourselves for that. So let's head back to, excuse me, let's head back to our area script. And basically the problem we got is we could try to just create an instance of an empty game object holding the script and everything. But what we would be given is just a single waypoint post. And that's basically the same what we're given as we create a waypoint. Of course, it holds the area script, but I think that's just not enough. So let's create another region here. I call it editor for now, and close the region. So as you can see, as I open the script, it automatically collapses those regions. I mean, that's a setting I put up in MonoDevelop, but I think it helps because right now I don't worry about vertices or tries. I want to do something else, so that's really helpful. So let's create a function. Public void create a cube. So what I want to achieve with this function is I want to create a cube from nothing, really. So the first thing we need to do is set our waypoints. And we need a reference to the waypoints in the script. So if you recall, we set up our waypoints in a way that whenever we instantiate our waypoint script, the first waypoint is created right away. But here I don't know who is faster, if this script is faster, if the waypoint is faster creating the first waypoint. I don't know, and I don't really care. We need not just one, we need actually 4 if we want to create a cube. So let's do this in a while loop. Waypoints count. Oh, no, not waypoint script. Yeah. So if the count is smaller, while the count is smaller than 4, WAPI points. Okay, that explains a lot. We don't have WAPI points. So yeah, it wouldn't matter. I could also use the index, but this is the easiest way to just create 4 waypoints. And now we need to adjust the positions. So let's say position is, we first get the position of our first waypoint. So that will be the bottom, or how do you say, the front left corner to our cube. Local position. And so we will not have to adjust the first one, but then as for the others, so we have waypoints 1 dot transform dot, actually should be local position. I'm not fully sure about that. We just gotta try it out. So here we just take our position of the first one, and now we add a vector 3. So our y value will be untouched. So we just need to worry about the x and the z axis. And since we already got one value here, this is the height of our area. We've defined it as or set it as a public variable, so I'm just gonna use that. You can also set up an extra variable for this. You can put in a standard value if you like. The thing is, I thought it's nice if it's public, because if you work in a large terrain, then 5 is actually nothing. But if you do something fairly small and delicate, then you don't want to start your area with 50 or 100 or whatever. So let me take this and copy and paste. So now we just move around to all the corners. So one will look like this and the other one like that. So I also want to set the circle. This is just a visual tool, if you remember, that just closes our waypoints. It's just for looking pretty, really, right now. In this tool, it doesn't really have that much of a function. So, and now that we have created our waypoints, remember, as we create an area, the first thing we do is get our waypoint script and pull those waypoints over to our area points. So sorry if you don't use the waypoints tool, there was a whole lot about that. Maybe you check it out still. But this should work. So now we have our function. All that is left is to create, actually not in here, we need to open up our menu script. Okay, so now in this script we are gonna add our area tool, which is a menu item. Just make sure you keep the same path as above. Otherwise you'll just set up a whole new menu item. I mean, not that this would be hard to fix, but you might be looking for something in the wrong place. So let's call this create area. Okay, so the first thing, fairly similar to what we've done above, we create our game object, an area object, And now one thing I want to do is I actually want to parent it to the selected game object. So that means if we have an empty somewhere in our scene and you got the selected, you hit create area. I want this to actually be parented. Yeah. So I've seen something like you can actually pass in something in a value in here. It's called menu command. It's supposed to be the context of whatever this event that you clicked on the menu item, and from that you could derive the actively selected object. It didn't work for me, so we're just gonna do it differently. I don't know if there are any pros or cons for either approach. If you know, please comment below and just let me know. We're just gonna use selection active game object. Let's do it again. Here we are. So, and now I just want to check, because what if we did not select anything, and just need to make sure. So if there is a parent, then we set the transform parent it to this very object. Parent.transform. So we don't need an else statement, because if not, then it will just not move it around and it will stay at 0, 0. So next thing, I want to name it. I call it area. And now we need a reference to our area script. Oh, get component. Oh no, sorry, we have a newly created empty game object, so there is nothing to get. So we need to add a component area script. And this will not just add it, it will also store it right away in our variable. And here we can call our function create a cube. So let's just save that and have a look. And yeah, I just keep this one selected so we can test the parenting. And now, what is that? I think something went wrong. Should have tested that before. Something went wrong with our create a cube script. Everything else worked. We have an area object. It is right here parented under our game object, which we had selected previously. But the creation process is not working the way I wanted to. So, as I said, I was not sure about the position. I always mess local position, mess with that stuff. So let me just delete the whole thing, try it again. And this was not the problem. Okay. Let me see. We add our 4 waypoints. That seemed, oh, here, there we go. That's the problem with copy and paste. So I hope you learned something from it. I don't think I did, because I'm going to use it again. But yeah, that just happens. And there we go, beautiful. Our cube just pops out of nowhere, and we can, yeah, start working with it. Now we already have 4 waypoints, and all that's left is to move one around and hit the create button again, and we got a different shape already. So I think that's cool. That works. The only thing, let's just look at that again. If I hit create and I hit area, the first thing that is selected is our last waypoint. Why is that? Because our function that we're calling create waypoint at end is always selecting this very waypoint. So we just, I think it makes sense if I have a parent selected, I want this one to be selected after creation process. If there's none selected, then I want to create, select our area object. So let's do this. And this is not complicated at all. So it's the same if statement. If there is a parent, what I want to do is selection active game object equals parent. Oh, what happened? Else selection active game object is our area object. And not to forget, if we want to hit Control C to undo everything, we just need to register first. All right, let's test. I'm gonna test again with having an object selected. So right away our game object is selected, and the purpose of that obviously is that I still want to adjust its position, move it around, maybe even scale it or rotate it or anything. So that is helpful to have this one selected right away. And if nothing is selected, our area object is selected right away. And if I hit Control C, it's gone. Sweet. Sorry, I'm just gonna cut it short here. I actually recorded this as one session, but just figured out it's taking a bit too long. So I'm just gonna make a cut here and see you in the next episode.